Yo, good evening, everyone in the USA, all over the world, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka Misunderstood Lonely Nomad, the YouTuber, Gregonator, host with the most, independent podcaster, the unstoppable independent podcaster, and rookie podcaster of Queens, New York. And you are now listening and tuning in and rocking with the 128th episode of Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York podcast. And we got a great show for you today. We are live and direct from StreamYard and YouTube alongside of myself, which is the Instagram live feed of the podcast show page. Make sure you turn on your notifications on the grams so you don't miss anything. And speaking of notifications, be sure you grab the subscribe button and tap the noti bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream. For previous episodes, new episodes, more video content. Leave a like and a comment. All and with the topics in the episodes, be sure to share the topics, share the episodes, um share the videos, and of course make sure you basically tell a friend to another friend, and I will go over everything in the end where you can listen to the episodes at the end. All right, so here we go. Now I'm going to cut to the chase with I'm gonna cut to the chase with the whole I'm gonna cut to hold on a second. I'm gonna cut to the chase with the first and foremost, let me do a little mental check-in. All right. As for how I'm feeling mentally, physically, and spiritually, you ask. You may be wondering, yes, mentally, um, I did have some doubts. I did have some doubts. I'm not gonna hold you. I did have some doubts in regards to, letting numbers intimidate me and stuff like that, as far as like the amount of subscribers, the amount of followers on social media like Instagram, for instance, which is one of the main tools that I use to actually promote my podcast and stuff. um you know I was thinking the other day, not letting these numbers and stuff like that get me down, but it kind of did. I think what a lot of people may or may not understand about me when it comes to me trying to, promote my three podcast shows whatsoever face to face, it's difficult because, everybody's working and all that other stuff. And I get that. But it is 365 days in a year. And you mean to tell me that you probably have time to sleep, probably have time to go to a party or whatever, but you don't have time to listen to any particular episodes? Like, that don't make no sense to me. But anyway, man, yeah, so I just came to the realization that I'm just gonna actually, keep going. I mean, that's how I'm gonna do it. Whether it's a lot of people that care or whether they don't. So, it is what it is. So physically and spiritually, I am doing all right so far. So there you go, right there. Um, now I'm pretty sure everybody knows that this is the first week of spring. Um, and I had a talk with some I had a talk with some customers in regards to daylight savings time being, you know, permanent. There were some mixed reactions that I got from them. Some may like it, some don't. Now, for those who may like it, don't have to worry about switching their clocks back or whatever. But the thing that kind of got me, which I will actually, I'm actually going to discuss that in a future episode, but I'm not going to get into it too much. So, you know what I'm saying? So basically, um, I've been hearing so much about seasonal depression lately, and I just had a lot of people actually explain to me how seasonal depression is like the root, because this is because I find that interesting, and I'm actually going to dig into that in a future episode. Um, so basically, yeah. So you guys could get a better idea on what it is and how to understand why people are going through this. You know what I'm saying? So there you go, right there. I'm saving this topic for next time. So here we go. We got like two particular we have two particular incidents in the New York mass transit of the MTA, New York City transit system and stuff. So we're gonna go into the first, the first um subject, and this is what we call the New York Mass Transit Files. Here we go. All right. Um. All right. Here we go. All right. Let me get myself situated. Okay, here we go. All right, so we have a heck of an incident today. Actually, 2 days ago. And this has to do with the hellish commute of power loss, signal troubles, gnarl F and G subway trains in Brooklyn. Now, yeah, you always gonna have trouble. You always gonna have some trouble with those fucking signals and stuff. Because I guess because they're mad old and they're not really upgraded. So I'm just going to cut to the chase with the story. So here we go. Um, so Brooklyn subway riders were left stranded during the Monday morning rush hour after the MTA suspended F and G trains due to signal troubles, blaming utility company Con Edison for a loss of power. The outages began after a power dip at Church Avenue Station and signaling tower at 8:14 a.m. in Kensington, suspending both trains for more than an hour. Strap hangers took to Twitter to voice their frustration at the MTA for messing up their commutes, including one local state lawmaker who had to ditch mass transit for a pricey ride hail car so he could connect to his train headed to the state capital. No trains on the F line in either direction. I now have to take a $72 lift to Penn Station so I could get to Albany. This is no way to help people get to work and school, wrote Assembly member Robert Carroll on Twitter. The Brooklyn poll arrived at his local station only to find little information other than digital screens showing delays, and fellow riders told him the situation had been like that for 45 minutes. The the legislator voiced his support for a push by advocacy group Riders Alliance towards Governor Kathy Hochul and the legislature to send more funding in the state budget to the MTA transit officials who can run subways as frequently as every 6 minutes throughout the day. After today's hellish commute, this needs to be a top priority, Carol said. The MTA's reduction of service and near constant delays will hamper New York City's recovery. If we want tourists and office workers to return, we must have a reliable subway system. MTA restored some service between Manhattan, Queens, and Brooklyn about an hour after the original warning went out at 9:21 a.m. with trains ending at Smith Ninth Streets in Gowanus. Half an hour later, northbound F trains returned to all Brooklyn stations on an extremely limited basis, while there were still no southbound subways past Church Avenue and no G trains south of Smith Ninth. Um, Full service at all stops resumed at 10:12 a.m. according to MTA, but New York City Transit warned on Twitter that there would be still be leftover delays as they brought the two lines back on schedule. And this is what they said on Twitter. F trains are running with extensive delays in both directions. FG trains have resumed making regular stops in Brooklyn. What happened? Are fi- our crews um are are fixed a problem with the signaling system at Church Avenue. This problem was caused by an earlier loss of power from Con Edison. Yeah, a Con Edison spokesperson said the utility had a dip in power Monday morning. The rep added that the company has um, safeguards in place to keep MTA equipment running, but that but that this protection was turned off for some reason when the outage happened. In quote, we explained a monetary voltage dip on our transmission system this morning, but our system recovered immediately, said Alan Drury in an email. We have installed devices at MTA stations to protect MTA equipment when voltage dips happen. The device at the Church Avenue MTA station was turned off when this morning's voltage disturbance took place. We are in touch with the MTA, which is looking into why the device at Church Avenue station was turned off, Drury added. An MTA official cast doubt on those statements, telling AM New York Metro there was no device turned off that could have had any impact on the outage. If the Brooklyn bungle wasn't enough, the MTA has to suspend service at two other arterial arteries, transit arteries, causing delays in a total of three of the five boroughs in the morning. Um, on the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 lines, there were delays caused by a trespasser at 40. No, yeah, at Grand Central, 42nd Street, around the same time as the F and G issues, and earlier that morning in Queens on the E, F, M, and R lines, a track circuit interruption at 67th Avenue, which is in Queens, folks. Station at 5:30 a.m. made for late trains as well. An MTA spokesman apologized for the Triborough subway meltdown that kicked off the week. In quote, service is now running normally on all affected lines. We are committed to reliability, but riders had a tough commute this morning, and we apologize for the resulting inconvenience, said Tim Minton in a statement Monday morning. Along The southern Brooklyn section of the F train that struggled in the morning, also known as the Culver Line. The MTAs has started installing new and automated signals over the weekend, known as communication based train control or CBTC. Um, Upgrading the signaling system, which effectively acts as the subway's traffic lights, is supposed to modernize depression era transit infrastructure to make trains more frequent and reliable. The agency was scheduled to do work for the CBTC upgrades along the Culver line starting on Friday evening through Monday morning at 5 a.m., just hours before the outage. But the MTA rep later told AM New York Metro the two weren't related. The best understanding we have is there's absolutely no relation to that work that was going on, Minton said. Monday's snafu also marks the the second time in as many weeks that F train riders have had to face grueling waits. The F train, along with B, D, and M trains, were suspended for more than 3 hours on March 9th along the 6th Avenue line in Manhattan due to signal failure at West 4th Street, Washington Square Station in Greenwich Village. Last summer, a mass breakdown of subway service happened on a section of tracks also undergoing CBTC upgrades at the time. The Queens Boulevard line carrying E, F, M, and R trains. Yep. I mean, this stuff happens all the time. I mean, this stuff happens all the time in my experience of me riding the subway trains and stuff. Um, which I'm not gonna really get into because we got a lot going on that we have to get to. Um, I just saw another story in regards to. Um, I just saw another story actually. Hold on a second, folks. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right, we got another incident, and this takes place in Brooklyn. Um, So cops are looking for two perpetrators who slashed a man during a J train fight in Brooklyn on Wednesday afternoon. Law enforcement sources said the incident occurred at about 1:10 p.m. on a Queens-bound J train at the Van Sicklen Avenue station in Cypress Hills. Based on a preliminary investigation, police determined that the 27-year-old man got into a tussle with two other men for reasons that remain unknown. The dispute ended, um, authorities said, when one of the suspects slashed the victim above the left eyebrow. Then, okay, they then ran out of the train car and out of the Van Sicklen station in an unknown direction. Yeah, that's scary. That's the reason why I'm playing the fucking screaming sound. So there you go. Officers from the 75th Precinct and NYPD Transit Bureau responded to the incident. EMS rushed the victim to Brookdale University Hospital, where he's listed in stable condition. Immediately after the slashing, J trains were delayed in both directions as police conducted an investigation, according to MCA New York City Transit. As officers surveyed the location for evidence, a puddle of blood could be clearly seen along the platform's yellow safety strip adjacent to the train where the man was slashed. Yeah, I know what you mean. Why is this always happening? It's a pattern. It's a repeating pattern. Okay, it's a fucking repeating pattern of this, like different individuals slashing individuals. That's just crazy, man. So the attackers remain at large as of publication time. Law enforcement sources said. Police said the two men wore red and blue jackets. Of course, anyone with information regarding the slashing can call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-577-TIPS. Of course, for Spanish, dial 888-57-PISTA. You can also submit tips online at crimestoppers.nypdonline.org or on Twitter at NYPD tips. All calls and messages are kept confidential. Well, not sure about all of that, but let's see what's going on here. It just came in. Hold on a second, man. Anyway, um, yeah. All right. Now, now we're gonna go to a thing or two that I like to call chatting all the jazz. All right. Okay. Now, because it's Women's History Month, I decided to look into Oprah. Um, Now Oprah is the person that we're going to be talking about today. Um, as you can see, um, as you can see, we're almost at the end of March, so I figured I'd just, talk about this. So, so check this out. So Oprah Gail Winfrey, born Oprah, yeah, born in January 29th, 1954, is an American talk show host, television producer, actress, author, and philanthropist. She is best known for a talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, broadcast from Chicago, which was the highest rated television program of its kind of history and ran in national syndication for 25 years from 1986 to 2011. Dubbed the Queen of All Media, she was the richest African American of the 20th century, was once the world's only black billionaire and the greatest black philanthropist in US history. By 2007, she was sometimes ranked as the most influential woman in the world. Um Of course, Winfrey was born into poverty in rural Mississippi to a single teenage mother and later raised in inner city Milwaukee. She has stated that she has no, excuse me, she was molested during her childhood and early teenage years and became pregnant at 14. Her her son was born prematurely and died in um infancy. Wait, infancy. Hold up. Hold up a second. Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. Winfrey was sent to live with the man she calls her father, Vernon Winfrey, a barber in Nashville, Tennessee, and landed a job in radio while still in high school. By 19, she was a co-anchor for the local evening news. Winfrey's off, often emotional extemporaneous delivery eventually led to her transfer to the daytime talk show arena. And after boosting a third rated local talk Chicago talk show to first place, she launched her own production company. By the mid 1990s, Winfrey had reinvented her show with a focus on literature, self improvement, mindfulness, and spirituality. Though she has been criticized for unleashing a confession culture, um, promoting controversial self help ideas and having an emotional centered approach. She has also been praised for overcoming adversity to become a benefactor to others. Winfrey had also emerged as a political force in the 2008 presidential race with her endorsement of Barack Obama, estimated to have been worth about 1 million votes during the 2008 Democratic primaries. In 2003, Winfrey was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Obama and received honorary doctorate degrees from Duke and Harvard. In 2008, she formed her own network, the Oprah Winfrey Network. Credited with creating a more intimate, confessional form of media communication, Winfrey popularized and revolutionized the tabloid talk show genre pioneered by Phil Donahue. In 1994, she was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. Winfrey has won many accolades throughout her career, which includes 18 Daytime Emmy Awards, including the Lifetime Achievement Award and the Chairman's Award, two Primetime Emmy Awards, including the Bob Hope Humanitarian Award, a Tony Award, a Peabody Award, and the Jean um, Herschel Humanitarian Award, awarded by the Academy Awards, and two additional Academy Award nominations. Winfrey was elected as a member of the American Academy of Arts and Science in 2021. Hold that thought. Let me take a sip. Stay with me, folks. Um all right. So let me give a round of applause for Oprah Winfrey for not only creating a a media company for herself and stuff, the own network and everything that she accomplished. Okay. All right, our our next story has to do with our next story has to do with another incident. This is involving multiple homeless people, not just in Washington but also in New York. So a gunman suspected of stalking homeless people asleep on the streets of New York City and Washington D.C., killing at least two people and wounding three others, was arrested early Tuesday, police said. Law enforcement arrested the man in Washington and he was being interviewed, the Metropolitan Police Department said on Twitter. The police in the two cities earlier released multiple surveillance photographs, including a close-up clearly showing the man's face, and urged people who might know him to come forward. Additional information will be forthcoming, said the statement on Twitter, which did not disclose the man's identity. Thanks to the community for all your tips. This is crazy, man. This is fucking crazy, man. Um, Advocates for the homeless were relieved by the arrest, but urged officials in both cities, which have significant populations of people without permanent shelters, to provide more assistance. End quote. The urgency of helping people move in off the streets must remain because this is only the latest example of the risks the risk faced by people without housing, said Jacqueline Simone, policy director for the Coalition for the Homeless in New York City. It's not the first time that people have been the victims of violence or even homicides because of their housing status. The mayors of New York City and Washington had appealed to the public for help on Monday in the search for the gunman. Investigators acknowledged then, though, that they knew little about him or his motive. Washington Mayor Muriel, which is my sister's name, of course, Bowser, um, and New York City Mayor Eric Adams, speaking together at a news conference on Monday, had urged anyone living on the streets to go to city shelters where they might be safer. We know that our unsheltered residents already face a lot of daily dangers, and it is unconscionable that anybody would target this vulnerable population, Bowser said. Adams said New York City police and homeless outreach teams would focus on finding unhoused people in the subways and other locations to urge them to seek refuge at city owned shelters. In Washington, city outreach workers passed out flyers among the homeless population, urging people to be vigilant and featuring multiple pictures of the suspect. Um, Investigators in the two cities began to um, suspect a link between the shootings on Sunday after a Metropolitan Police Department homicide. Captain, a former New York City resident, saw surveillance photos that had been released on Saturday night by the New York Police Department while scrolling through social media. The man in those photos looks similar to the one being sought by the MPD homicide captain's own department. DC Police Chief Robert Conti credited the quick coordination between the departments, saying that without that officer making the connection, it could have been months before the link between the attacks was discovered. The earliest known shooting happened around 4 a.m. on March 3rd in Washington, police said, when a man was wounded in the city's northeast section. A second man was wounded on March 8th just before 1:30 a.m. At 3 a.m. the next day, police and firefighters found a dead man inside a burning tent. He initially was thought to have suffered fatal burns, but a subsequent autopsy revealed that he had died of multiple stab and gunshot wounds. The killer then traveled north to New York City, police said. At 4:30 a.m. on Saturday, a 38-year-old man sleeping on the streets in Manhattan, not too far from the entrance to the Holland Tunnel, was shot in the right arm as he slept. The victim screamed and the gunman fled, police said. After 90 minutes later, the gunman fatally shot another man in Soho, police said. Oh my fucking gosh. Oh my fucking gosh, man. This is crazy. I'm sorry. This is just crazy to me. He looked around, Adams said. He made sure no one was there and he intentionally took the life of an innocent person. Oh my gosh. The man's body was found in his sleeping bag just before 5 p.m. Saturday. He had been shot in the head and neck, said Julie Bolser, a spokesperson for the New York City Medical Examiner's Office. He has not been officially identified, but he was known among others who live out on the streets, Bolser said. The victim lay in the streets for hours before authorities were summoned. We don't know at this point who this is, whether or not they might have family who have might might claim their body, said James Winans, the chief executive officer of the Bowery Mission, which takes in scores of the city's homeless every night and is located just blocks from where the man's body was recovered. Hmm. Cass Abraham, who became homeless last month, said he was pained to learn of a guy who lived on the streets who probably was minding his own business getting murdered for no reason. Anyone of us who's homeless could have went to that same situation, Abraham said. The latest attacks were reminiscent of the beating deaths of four homeless men as they slept on the streets in New York City's Chinatown in the fall of 2019. Yeah, that's crazy right there. Yeah, the latest attacks were the latest attacks. Yeah, I just read that part. Another homeless man, Randy Santos, has pleaded not guilty to murder charges in those attacks. A year ago, four people were stabbed in New York City, two fatally shot, no, excuse me, fatally by a man who randomly attacked homeless people in the subway system. The assailant, who also was homeless, is awaiting trial. New York City's mayor has been criticized by some anti-poverty advocates for his plan to remove homeless people from the city's subway system by deploying police and mental health workers to keep people from sleeping in trains or stations. Adams on Monday defended the policy, saying it was designed to protect both commuters and homeless residents. There is nothing dignified, he said, about allowing people to sleep on subway platforms. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, my take on this thing is like this. Look, we live in a world where there's a lot of homeless people, and I actually talked about this episodes ago in regards to what's going on in California and New York. And it's it's not surprising, and this is not the first time this shit is happening. So um and I think the mayor is actually doing something about this, trying to get, you know, the amount of homeless people that's sleeping at train stations, sleeping on trains and all that other stuff, and trying to prevent any more homeless people from being, slashed or worse. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on that shit though. You know what I mean? Um so yeah, that's just my take. Um so so let's see. Okay. Now I did not know it's been 30 years since Martin came on the air, right? This is crazy right here, man. So this is gonna sound crazy. So listen to this. The previously No Way It Would Happen Martin television show reunion is really on the way. Martin Lawrence, Tisha Campbell, Tashina Arnold, and Carl Anthony the Anthony Payne II have reunited for the 30th anniversary TV specials set to air on BT Plus. Unfortunately, we will all be missing the presence of Tommy, the funny best friend of Martin, Thomas McAlford, who passed away in 2016 at age 52. Martin is one of the most beloved sitcoms in our community, um, both because it is hugely entertaining and because it played a pivotal role in changing the narrative of Black voices in entertainment and in culture through the portrayal of young, ambitious Black leads and healthy Black relationships, said Scott Mills, CEO of BET. Um, so yeah. Um, 30 years after its premiere, the new special, as reported on Deadline, will look at the show's origin and evolution. It will feature interviews with the cast and original directors, as well as um, musical performances and behind the scenes commentary. It will highlight the importance and impact of the show that shaped a generation. This is from Goated Reserve. Actually, don't know why you don't know why you named yourself that, but okay. The Martin reunion will be better than any Friend episode ever created. To be able to sit here 30 years later with this amazing cast that has had such an impact on pop culture is truly a blessing. Martin Lawrence shared, I am always humbled that the fans still want more of the show and its characters. I am looking forward to the reunion special. Martin and Gina back together on your television for the good of mankind. Tisha Campbell echoed the excitement in an Instagram post caption, Y'all ready? We are. The Martin reunion is executive produced by Martin Lawrence, Robert Lawrence. He had a brother. Ray Proctor and Stacey Lyles through his company, Run Tell That Entertainment. The reunion special hosted by Afion Crockett is is taping today, February 20th, while a specific premiere date has not been confirmed by BET Plus, but it's slated to air later this year. All 5 seasons of Martin are currently streaming on BET Plus. Um, yeah. So there is no release date on when the reunion is going to happen. So remains to be seen, folks. Yes, remains to be seen. Um, all right. Now I want I want to talk about what went down with the two people who were filming Atlanta. Okay, so ahead of Atlanta season 3 premiere on March 24th, Donald Glover and the FX Staples cast spoke at the Television Critics Association Winter Press Tour earlier this week. Donald's brother Stephen Glover, who is a writer on Atlanta, revealed that he and the cast were subject to a horrible racist experience during the first night of season three's filming in London. Wait a minute. Really? Both Glovers and other castmates were approached by a drunk group made up of one girl and a few guys asking if they knew a spot to get a drink in the area. One of the guys allegedly insisted they all carried guns so they could break into any bar they wanted. Mind you, mind you, um, all the writers of Atlanta are back. So he's making a reference that we all have hammers and we can just break into this place. No, excuse me, which we kind of ignored, Stephen Glover said. It was so insulting, but not insulting at the same time because it took us 5 minutes to fully understand. He got to a point of like if the insinuation was lost on us. He got specific and he was like, You guys are black. You've gone to jail and you do things like that. Like he kept doubling down on it. Yeah, that's kind of horrible. That's horrible. Yeah, that's a horrible thing to say. The guys in the group then allegedly warned the woman they were with, that the Atlanta crew was going to rape her. We are just standing there like, what just happened? Donald Glover chimed in. While Steven concluded the story, the girl was literally like, I'm sorry, as she's being taken away. So it was pretty bad. Season 3 takes place in Europe as Earn, Paperboy, and Darius head across the pond for a tour, which is sure to put the crew in some compromising situations. FX also revealed that Atlanta will finish season four this fall. The first two episodes of season 3 will debut on March 24th, and the rest of the 10 episode season happening weekly thereafter. Hold on a minute. I actually read somewhere that season 4 of Atlanta is going to be the last final season. Are you serious? Hold on a minute. I need to take a look at this. Season 4 is the final season. Oh boy. This I need to really look into. All right, I need to look into this shit though. Hold on a second. So this is according to um so um this is according to Deadline right here. Atlanta's fourth season will be its last. FX chairman John Langro revealed during an exclusive session on Thursday. News of the comedy's fourth and final season comes a little more than a month before season 3 is set to drop on FX on March 24th. After a full year absence, we're graced with the return of Atlanta. Donald Glover and his team have shot the final 2 seasons of the series. Landgraf said, the 10 episode third season marks the first time Atlanta will be available for in season streaming on Hulu. Cancellations and renewals, blah, blah, blah. It's crazy. He continued, the fourth and final season is slated to debut in the same manner in the fall. The new season is everything you expect from Atlanta, which is to say, expect the unexpected. Sit back and enjoy the trip. Taking place almost entirely in Europe. Season 3 finds Earn, Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, Alfred, Paperboy, Brian Tyree Henry, Darius Lakeith Stanfield, who did the Judas and the Black Messiah, and Van, which is Zazie Beats, in the midst of a successful European tour. As the group navigates their new surroundings as outsiders and struggle to adjust to the newfound success they had aspired to. The series from Glover has won a total of 5 Primetime Emmy Awards since its debut in 2016, including an Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series and Outstanding Director for a Comedy Series prizes in 2017. In 2018, the FX comedy also won for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series, Outstanding Cinematography for a Single Camera Series, Half Hour, and Outstanding Sound Editing for a Comedy or Drama Series, Half Hour, and Animation. Atlanta is executive produced by Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, Stephen Glover, Hiro Murai, Stefani Robinson, Paul Sims, and Diane um, McGonigal. Atlanta is produced by FX Productions. Man, man, that's crazy, man. That it had to end that way. That's crazy, man. Um, let's see. Let's see if there's any more stuff that I could talk about. Now, hold on a minute here. Of course, hold on a minute here. Just give me a second. Give me a second here. Um, give me a minute. Um, all right. Yeah, we're gonna get to yeah. Let's talk Benzino. Hold on a second, man. Let's get to Benzino. Hold on a minute here. Let's get to Benzino. All right, so obviously, Benzino. Haven't heard from you. We haven't heard from this guy in years. So Benzino issues an apology to Coi Leray after blasting Nicki Minaj collab. Benzino issued a public apology to Coi Leray after blasting potential Nicki Minaj collab. 24-year-old Coi Leray gained her prominence in the music industry after the release of her viral single No More Parties in 2021, and later adding Chicago's very own Little Dirk onto the single and releasing the music video. The song reached over 76 million views on YouTube, making people want to know more about the trendy superstar. Since then, Coi Leray has continued to release music with hits such as Twinning at the top, Big Purr featuring Pooh Shiesty and more. While Coi Leray is on a constant run in her music career, the New Jersey native is gearing up to release her highly anticipated debut album. While the album is still in the works, fans are trying to figure out which artist will be making a guest appearance on the new album. Following a series of events yesterday, fans may now have an idea after Benzino, father of Coi, may have spilled the beans. She got the song with Nicki Minaj that's gonna be coming out. That's gonna be crazy. Benzino stated in a room on Clubhouse. When the media got wind of the collab, so many were excited for the singer before Nicki Minaj addressed the rumor, stating that she doesn't have an upcoming collab with anyone. I don't have a collab coming with anyone. Onika Mode, love you. Nicki pen on her Instagram story. Clearly frustrated with her dad's actions, Coi Leray took to social media to address his claims, stating that she advises that her father takes the back seat in her career and let her steer the wheel. Yeah, she's an adult, man. Like, what is wrong with you? Shit, man. Damn. Is he really that fucking butt hurt over this shit? Is he jealous? Yeah. You know what? This is so fucking crazy, man. Yo, I wouldn't even do no shit to nobody, man, that's following their goals and dreams, man. To actually drop a damn bomb like that, that's crazy. Um anyway, yes. When people was yapping them they mouth on the Clubhouse, he felt like he had to defend himself, but I had to tell my dad he's an OG and he was super big back in the day, and everybody knows my dad's an OG. He gotta play the back gracefully. She began. It's my turn now. It's my turn, Daddy. I'm gonna need you to sit the fuck down, grab some popcorn, enjoy the show, and clap for me when it's time to clap for me. All right, Daddy? Although the singer is airing out her frustration. It's a good thing to see the two on good terms following their online feud at the start of the singer's career. He's going to go hard for me every single time. Not he's not he not going to let nobody talk crazy about me or nothing, she added. I guess it was a situation where people was yapping their mouth on the clubhouse and he felt like he had to defend himself. Ah, hold on. Yeah, that's so um, this is crazy, man. Um let me see. I know there's more Coi Leray stuff to talk about here. Hold on a second. I know I have another one. Give me 1 second as I take a sip. All right. I don't know why this is happening, but anyway. So, in other Coi Leray news, Coi Leray has another banger on the way. Earlier this year, her father Benzino pulled the trigger on a collaboration a little too soon, but the young star single with Nicki Minaj is loading. The new single was revealed on Instagram with Leray and the Barbie holdings guns in front of a colorful display. Trendsetters loading. My new single Blick Blick with the Queen Nicki Minaj drops this Friday on March 18th. Nicki Minaj says on Twitter, just like with Bia, love every single choice she made with WLM. I love these unique girls, but keep in mind, I'm just a rap fan like everybody else. Even with my own verses, what I love may not be what you love, and that's okay. Um, then, of course, let me see if there's any more. Let me see. Hold on for 1 second, folks. I know there's more to this. Um, so last week, Coi Leray teamed up with Nicki Minaj. Um, her catchy new single "Blick Blick," which is expected to appear, um, which is expected to appear on her debut LP "Coi." Yesterday, March 23rd, the rising star was spotted on the red carpet for this year's iHeart Radio Music Awards, and Nicki used the moment to praise her fellow collaborator on Instagram. You unique style, comfortable in her own skin and body, sexy while being completely covered, not afraid to be fun and playful, face not looking 20 years older than her real age. Stands out from the crowd, even on the red carpet, which I had this confidence at this age. You go, mama. In addition, um, Nicki also gave thanks to stations for spinning Blick Blick, which she revealed is currently number one on urban and rhythmic radio. No, excuse me, rhythmic radio. Um, Koi can also be seen returning the love in the post comments. Blick Blick follows a string of well received singles from Koi, including About Me, Okay Yeah, No More Parties with Little Dark, Big Purr, with Pooh Shiesty, Anxiety, and at the top with Kodak Black and Mustard. Meanwhile, it's been 4 years since Nicki liberated her fourth studio album, Queen, a 19-song body of work with contributions from um, Labyrinth, um, Eminem, Lil Wayne, Ariana Grande, The Weeknd, Sway Lee from Ray Shremmerd, Future, and Foxy Brown. Last year, the hip hop legend did re-release her classic mixtape "Beam Me Up, Scotty," which added on the newer cuts "Seeing Green" with Lil Wayne and Drake, Fractions, and a remix of Skill Bang's runway hit. Excuse me, Crocodile Teeth. More recently, Nicki teamed up with Little Baby for two new singles, "Do We Have a Problem" and "Bussin'." Well, of course, check out Nicki Minaj's Instagram post about Coi Leray below. With the incoming success of Bleak Bleak, it's hopeful that a release date for Coi and for an up and coming Nicki album will arrive soon. Um, yeah, so that's pretty good, man. And you know something? I'm going to actually do a review on her music on my other show, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, in a couple of weeks. So, you know what I mean? And I'm actually going to actually do this. And of course, Little Kim shows love to Coi Leray. So that's pretty dope that she's getting some love here. Um, okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Anything else I need to talk about? Let me see. Oh, wait. Let me take a look here. Um, yeah, they talk about that. Um, okay, rappers that appear. Hold on, rappers that appear. Guest appearances on the show that shocks you. Wait a second. Um, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Um, okay, rappers. 10-time rappers made guest appearances on TV shows and shock you with their acting. Hip hop runs the world. Rappers are stars all across the board, creating music, acting in movies and on television, writing books, and plenty of other creative disciplines that exist. Popularity and the changing times have allowed hip hop artists to enter spaces outside their typical wheelhouse, to blossom into anything that they have an interest in. One of those areas is acting, and it only makes sense since rappers are so charismatic and self confident that getting some screen time feels like a logical next step. While many rhymers have recurring roles or are even stars of their own TV shows, Double XL highlights the best guest appearances from rappers where they pop in for one episode and grab headlines while they are at it. Hip hop spotlight on television is hardly a new phenomenon. LL Cool J, already a huge rapper in 1994, made a quick cameo on the Nickelodeon comedy show The Adventures of Pete and Pete, which follows two brothers of the same name and their day-to-day calamities. LL was the younger Pete's homeroom teacher, tasked with alerting the faculty that the mischievous youth wouldn't be in school, leading to a party in the teacher's lounge. Then there's Method Man, who played Eddie Valentine on Burn Notice in 2008. The rapper showed up as a fictional music exec who used any and all tactics to find out who was stealing his money. Nas locked in a gig as a parole violator who helped solve a crime in Hawaii for 5 in 2010 and did a good job in his short time on screen. All three of these acts loom large in hip hop's history, and stepping out on faith to try acting proved to be rewarding on for the genre. Um, In more recent times, there are plenty of rappers who put effort into their TV guest appearances. Of course, Kendrick Lamar's turn as Laces, an extremely intellectual drug addict and hustler on 50 Cent's Power in 2018, made a memorable moment. K. Dot's true appreciation for the show shined through. Another excellent example is Offset, a guest star on NCIS on Los Angeles. On the episode in 2020, Sets plays um, undercover CIA agent Kadri Kashan Khan and really gets into the role as he goes from his disguise to teaming up with LL Cool J's task force. Ludacris is another person that got his start in radio before he became a rap star, and that natural charisma has been apparent in everything he's done. That also rings true for his acting gigs, most notably for his ongoing role as Tej Parker in the Fast and Furious movie series. When it comes to TV, he played one of the music execs, Lucius Lyon's foes on the hit show Empire in 2015. The rapper appeared as Officer McKnight, a correctional officer at the prison Lyon found himself in. Even as a bad guy, Luder has an on camera ease that explains why he gets these opportunities. Yeah. um Yasin Bey, formerly known as Most Def, legendary Brooklyn rapper, has always been a man of many talents. Bet it, bet it, music, art, no, excuse me, art or acting. He got to show off his acting chops in 2009 on the Fox medical drama series House. The character he played was Lee, a man who entered a pseudocoma from inhaled metal poisoning. As he worked odd jobs to keep his family from knowing he was going broke. There are scenes where Bay communicates with the main character, House, while he's in a coma, portraying a man at wit's end. Ella Cool J, one of the more abstract programs on Nickelodeon's schedule was The Adventures of Pete and Pete, an early 1990s show about the life of two teen brothers with the same name. In the 1994 episode that Ella Cool J appeared in, the younger Pete hatched a plan to convince his mom he was too sick to go to school. The rapper the rapper shows up as the homeroom teacher. Um, in his quick cameo, he speaks some Hawaiian and announces over the intercom in code that Pete, who is known as a troublemaker, isn't coming to school. A party in the teacher's lounge ensues. LL's good-natured humor and um, propensity propensity to not take himself too seriously would pay dividends in his future acting career. Method Man. By 2008, Method Man was already in the Hype Williams film Belly, which put him on a lot of people's radar acting wise. He continued to take on roles, one of which was playing fictional music exec Eddie Valentine in an episode of the spy dramedy Burn Notice. In this episode in 2008, he uses the investigators from the show to find out who is stealing money from his record label. In the picture scene, the rapper is kidnapped and shown later who did it. Meth arguing with a belligerent anti-rap heckler and suggesting that Kenny G is too gangster for his listening taste is peek into the inimitable cool he brings to all his roles. Rick Ross, the boss, taking on acting roles makes too much sense as he has one of the most outsized personas in hip hop. He's never off. And has such a majestic way of delivering his thoughts, even in regular conversation. His role as Butterball. What kind of name is that for a character? Oh man. Oh shit. Yeah, on Stars, Butterball Network show Magic City in 2013 was perfect for him. He played a shady gambler decked out in the finest silk shirts and shades. In some of the scenes, you can see the other characters trying to hold back laughter because Ross takes his character seriously while um, also letting his bars fly so easily. The boss was made to be in front of the camera. Snoop Dogg is an entertainment icon. Music, the big screen, and the small screen. YouTube shows put Snoop on it, and it's a hit. Monk was already a successful show, and they recruited Snoop in 2007 to appear on the show as a rapper named Murderous. Wait, wait. Murderous? Are you serious? Murderous? Goddamn. Yeah. Oh shit. Qualities point to him being guilty, but Snoop playing the character with such a lack of self-awareness made you root for him. Offset. Um Migos as a group became superstars not only due to their talent and their unique approach to music, but their personalities. Time has revered Offset as one of the most interesting members due to his many sides. From rap star to family man to dancer and actor, he's versatile. Offset took on his first acting role in 2020 as Kadri Kashan Khan, an undercover CIA agent on NCIS Los Angeles. The show is led by another rapper actor, the legendary LL Cool J, and the two shared scenes together. Set got to take part in some action scenes too. And his line delivery was strong, fully um, enmeshing him with the character. It doesn't feel like a celebrity like a lackadaisically trying their hand at acting, but more like a world famous rapper committing himself to another discipline to impressive results. Nas, of course, has done a few acting roles in his career, most notably in the aforementioned Belly. The Queen's rapper stepped into a different role when he appeared on the action drama Hawaii Five-O in 2010 as a person of interest in a murder. Nasty Nas gives off a convincing, a bit short performance as a former criminal trying to get onto the right path. He also inadvertently helps the cops begin to solve the crime that they originally believed he took part in. He's a fluid actor and really sells that he just wants to help how he can to get out of a jam. Queen Latifah, of course, her acting chops has been certified for decades. She tackles any role given to her with ease. On 30 Rock, she made a guest appearance in the late 2010 as Congresswoman Regina Bookman, a passionate and dramatic political figure who wanted the TV network to have more diversity in their shows. As 30 Rock is built on a fictional version on NBC, she came down to the offices and got a look around, and hijinks ensue from there. Queen Latifah is funny, has good chemistry with all of the other talent, and has the poise of a regular cast member. Just like in the TV show on Sundays, The Equalizer. Kendrick Lamar. Nabbing the ever elusive Kendrick Lamar is no easy task. Luckily, the 50 Cent helm hit show Power pulled off the near impossible in 2018, since Kendrick was already a fan of the show. In his one episode appearance, he played Laces, a profound and thoughtful drug addict who befriends Fifth's character, Kanan Stark, and helps him set up his enemies on the street. K. Dot was very strong in the role, using both frenetic energy and desperation to paint a picture of a man who has worn down by his environment while also trying to make things right. Dr. Dre, mega producer, um, Dr. Dre had already become a household name by crafting beats for America's primary gangster rap group NWA in the late 1980s and 1990s, and the artist from the multi-platinum selling imprint Death Row Records. In 1996, just a few years removed from Dre dropping his 1992 classic album, The Chronic, he left Death Row to start Aftermath Entertainment and released the compilation Dr. Dre Presents The Aftermath. However, critics bashed the effort for having too many artists, and it seemed like they couldn't get over the disappointment of not getting another high level Dre project on a solo tip. 3 years later, Dre's doubters had little to say when he assembled the West Coast team of Avengers: Nate Dogg, late great Nate Dogg, Snoop Dogg, Corrupt, and more for the release of 2001 and 1999. Dre came correct with the quality, which was applauded and praised from fans. The effort went 6 times platinum in the first year of its release and reestablished why Dr. Dre's name should never be slandered. Jay Z. Jay Z's audio tell all arrived with 444, his 13th solo album released exclusively via Tidal and Sprint in 2017, following Bay's Candid Lemonade and preceding their joint LP, The Carters. 444 served as Jay Z's first solo project since 2013's Magna Carta Holy Grail. The album spawned a number one debut, Grammy nominations, and more firepower in the argument for his GOAT status. Though Magna was met with mixed reviews, despite securing double platinum status, 444 received a stamp of excellence for the growth and elevation that permeated Hove's rhymes. Um, Once again, parading an array of stories and intenders that could be dissected in a classroom setting, Jay proved that his pen game is never lacking on 444. 2 Chainz, based on the true story. Real Ones member, the Atlanta bred Titan Titty Boy, as one half of the group players circle. If you need a song to strike your memory, just think back to the hit Duffel Bad Boy with Lil Wayne. After dropping 2 projects under the group name and Ludacris disturbing the peace imprint, 2 Chainz reinvigorated his career, The True Religion, and of the best mixtapes of 2011. Following True Religion, he cracked the seal open on his solo debut album, based on a true story. The following year, the Kanye West insisted birthday song became the celebratory anthem for men who loved voluptuous women, while I'm Different offered the extraordinary set and OD to highlight their one of a kind flair. No Life featuring Drake also proved that the two artists could make effortless hits. The project was certified platinum both in the streets and on a commercial level. Plus, it earned him a Grammy nomination. Two Chains bounced back with a vengeance. Juicy J. After embarking on a solo career following 3 6 Mafia parting ways, Juicy J had to reinvent himself while going the solo route. His first two single handed efforts uh, in the form of albums, Chronicles of the Juice Man and Hustle Till I Die, didn't hit on the money in terms of commercial success, but Juicy's talent was never lost, which is evident throughout his 2013 LP Stay Trippy. Serving as the first drop under Wiz Khalifa's Taylor Game imprint. Stay Trippy brought Juicy to new mainstream heights. He cracked the top 5 of the Billboard 200 chart and sold almost 60,000 units more in the first week than his previous release, Hustle Till I Die. All-star producers Lex Luger, Mike Will Made It, Timberland, and Juicy himself all contributed to creating the project Beats. Um, Guest appearances by juggernauts Lil Wayne, The Weeknd, and Chris Brown were also part of the celebration, with platinum selling tracks like Bands Make Her Dance, featuring Lil Wayne and Two Chains, and the gold certified Bounce It with Wale and Trey Songz Juicy recipe for stunning punchlines and strip club anthems was perfected with Stay Trippy. Twister, a Chi-Town flame spitter known for his hurried yet precise flow, got bit by the label bug early on in his career. A contract dispute resulted in a 7 year gap between his third album, Adrenaline Rush, and 2004's Kamikaze. The latter earned Twist his first number one album and a platinum certification, further proving that he was still on the top of his game. Overnight Celebrity featuring fellow Chicago native Kanye West and Slow Jams, also featuring Kanye West and Jamie Foxx, both were produced by Ye as well, were to thank for much of the album's initial success, with the latter reaching number one on the Billboard Hot 100. The heavy soul samples utilized throughout the LP provided the rap wet with a sonic bed to cram each song with eccentric bars. And even if those lyrics weren't caught in full, um, they paired nicely with the production, using Kamikaze as an extension to sport his verbal agility. Twister beat the system here and survived a contract fiasco that could have easily derailed his success. Um, okay. Of course, Nas' pen game has never been lacking. His 1996 debut classic, Illmatic, placed the bar into the stratosphere for not only himself but fellow MCs that aim to balance club bangers, street tales, and conscious poetry on wax. In order to keep his legacy sturdy, Nasser kept his foot on the gas until the Grammy Award nominated and politically charged an untitled LP in 2008, which marked it which marked the start of a 4-year gap between releases, the longest break in his career. In 2012, the Queensbred rapper rose from the ashes and dropped "Life Is Good" and "Ompus" that flaunted his ability to make songs that could soundtrack any setting. Daughters, Cherry Wine, featuring the late great Amy Winehouse, and Bye Baby are just a few examples of his stellar rhymes supported by elite beats. Um, Over graceful production, mainly massaged by No ID, the seasoned rhymer sounds just as sharp as he did before he could legally purchase a bottle. The effort was praised for being yet another bulletproof example of what beauty looks like in the booth. Common. Common's top status and history of acclaimed Chicago rappers isn't up for debate. The Soul Quarians limb could do no wrong early on his career until critics came upon his fifth album, Electric Circus, in 2005. Some fans shunned the offering for being sonically all over the place and used his strategy of diversifying his sound against the rhymer. For his next LP, getting back to his roots as a poetic lyricist was a top priority. Common enlisted Kanye West to produce a vast majority of 2005's B and shut down his haters with a press of the play button. The album earned a number 2 spot on the Billboard 200, a huge leap from the number 47 debut that Electric Circus made. Similarly to that number 2 position by B, the effort takes that second spot in Common's catalog as well, along behind 2000's Like Water for Chocolate. Um, and of course, the list goes on. I'm gonna just scroll through the names. Of course, you got Raekwon the Chef. Um, A Charcoal Quest. We got it from here. Thank you for your story. No, thank you for your service. Um, we got Busta Rhymes, Cameron, Purple Haze, Pusha T. My name is my name. Uh, Yasin Bey, um, Negus. I don't know why you name it that, but oh man, I don't know why you name it that though, man. That's kind of weird for me. Um, I don't know why you name it that, but that I just find that shit so funny though, man. Why would you name it that though? I don't know why, man. Yeah. Okay, let me see what else we could talk about here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's talk Dreamville. Let's talk Dreamville for a sec. Um, let's talk Dreamville for a sec. Hold on a second. All right. Dreamville Festival 2022 lineup features J. Cole, Lil Wayne, Lil Baby, Moneybagg Yo, and more. So here's what's happening according to Complex. Um, in just a month, J. Cole and Dreamville will kick off their second Dreamville Festival in Raleigh, North Carolina. Included on The impressive roster for the 2-day event are Little Baby, Lil Wayne, Moneybagg Yo, Fabio Foreign, Rico Nasty, Wale, Ja Rule, and Ashanti, and more. Of course, Dreamville shared the star-studded lineup on Wednesday. The fest goes down from April the 2nd to the 3rd. So I'm gonna read off the names off of the Instagram page where it says Dreamville Fest. So starting with Blast, Earth Gang, Fabio Foreign, Ja Rule and Ashanti, Jid, Kalani, Lil Baby, Loot, um, Mariba, Moray, Wiz Kid, um, for Saturday. Um, Sunday, Ari Lennox, bass, Bia, DJ Dramas, Gangsta Grills, with Lil Wayne, Jeezy, Ti, CO22, J Cole himself, Larry June, Moneybagg Yo, Rico Nasty, Omen, T Pain, The Hicks, and Wale. Wow. As expected, the entire Dreamville Records team, including Jid, Bass, Ari Lennox, Omen, Kaz, Loot, and Earth Gang, will perform. The latter released their studio album Ghetto Gods at the end of February, and the project featured label mates Cole, Jid, and Lennox. When it comes to Dreamville, they always make sure to keep the family close. The first Dreamville Fest in 2019 was only one day event, and now with it extended to two, it leaves room for an even larger arsenal of elite artists. The second day of the fest, April 3rd, will overlap with the Grammy ceremony. End quote. Um, we always set out to create something special. Dreamville partner and festival president Adam Roy said in a statement, "Our Dreamville family has been patiently waiting for the fest's return, and now we're back with a lineup unlike anything else found in today's event landscape." Also in the lineup are T Pain, Blast, Kalani, Wizkid, and Murray. Festival season is quickly approaching. On Tuesday, Rolling Loud Miami announced its ridiculous 2022 lineup with Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, and Future headlining the 3-day event. Of course, you can get tickets for Dreamville Festival are on sale now at their website, dreamvillefest.com. All right. Um, all right, let me make sure I don't miss anything. Let me make sure I don't miss anything. Okay. Yeah, we gotta talk about some places to eat. Well, eat to drink actually. So we're gonna get into that right now. Um, let's see. Okay, first and foremost, let's take a look at some stuff. Um, so everybody in the New York area, are you guys looking for some places to eat and drink? Well, I got an article right here that I will fill you in on. So, and this is according to amnewyork.com. Here are some restaurant openings to look out for this spring in New York City. Check out, hold on a second. Hold on. Check out some of the new restaurants opening across New York City this spring. This is the Kebab Walla, located at 82 2nd Avenue, 5th Street. Owners of the Unapologetic Foods Group will serve kebabs that vary across the country, bringing overall fresh, authentic, and flavorful Indian cuisine to New York City. Mermaid Mexicana. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 79 McDougal Street between Bleecker and West Houston Street. The Mermaid Inn team will be expanding their brand this spring, offering Mexican food with a range of street tacos, including vegetarian options, led by led by Chef Victor Marin. The menu will also include signatures like palo asada, enchilada, suizas, enchilada suizas, and more. Um, Momoya, um, located in Soho 47th, Prince Street, corner Mulberry Street. This beloved family-owned Japanese restaurant, Momoya, has evolved with its new opening located in Soho. Sushi chef and partner Mataru Mukai and sushi chef Subhash Gurung serve behind a sushi bar that will serve omakase and a la carte sushi and sashimi. Morgenstern's Fizzy Bubbly, located 88 West Houston Street, corner of Lafayette Street. In May, Nicholas Morgenstein, no, excuse me, Morgenstern. Yeah. The founder of Morgenstern's Finest Ice Cream will open a cocktail bar, Morgenstern's Fizzy Bubbly. The bar will feature carbonated beverages, including the um, decadent flavors of their ice cream. Fizzy Bubbly will offer reservations and private events. That sounds yummy, by the way. Hold on. Okay, Kamasu. The shops at Hudson Yards, led by Garcia Kamsu menus. Kamsu's menus offers yeah, it offers a different type of sushi experience that is faster, less formal, and more accessible using flavors from Europe, South America, and parts of Asia outside of Japan. Masalawa, excuse me, hold on, Masalawala, located at 365 Fifth Avenue, 6th Street, Brooklyn, New York. Owners of Unapologetic Foods Group bring their unapologetic cooking style of Indian food to Park Slope with the reimagining of Mazundar, the merchant of spice, with which um, first opened it back in 2011. Um, now, now before I continue with this, there's a topic I didn't get a chance to cover, and this has to do with the chips between Doritos and Cheetos. Now, I didn't get a chance to cover this, so I'm just gonna go through it. So, okay, so Doritos and Cheetos have a joint commercial airing during the 2022 Super Bowl, and there are some big stars voicing those animals. Of course, the commercial follows a nature watcher in the forest, and her bags of Doritos flaming hot and Cheetos flaming hot fall out of her bag. The animals start to eat the chips and begin singing along to the song "Push It," which is by Salt and Pepper. If you recognize some of the voices, there's a good reason. Of course, Megan Thee Stallion voices the Red Bird, and Charlie Puth voices the Fox. You can watch the teasers featuring them below. Taking hotties to a new level with Chester Cheetah and Doritos. Megan wrote on Twitter along with the commercial last weekend. Of course, this was like, when I saw this, I was like, yo, this is like one of the. I was like, what the hell? I'm like, what are these animals talking? I'm like, wait a minute. Why would you feed animals chips though? And I'm like, wait a second. This has to be. I don't think. I don't think this is false advertising, folks. Now I know what you're thinking. This is not false advertising. This is just a marketing way to actually, get the attention that a a particular snack ad needs. You know what I'm saying? But in a way, it is pretty funny though if you really think about it though. Yeah. Yo, don't even get me started with the Red Bull commercial shit, man. Yo, don't even get me started with the Red Bull shit, man. That shit is so fucking ridiculous right now. Anyway, I am going to continue where I left off here, where you can actually have um the hold on a sec. Yes, here we go. Um, okay, okay, T Bar. Located at 116 East 60th Street, Park and Lexington Avenues, may will be the return of Tony Fortuna's favorite tea bar, steak and lounge. The bar will occupy a tri-level townhouse, including a floor for cocktails and dining, along with lounging and private events. Um, of course, 15 East at Turk um Tocqueville, located at 1 East 15th Street, 5th Avenue in Union Square West. 15 East Restaurant is bringing romance and stylish dining to Union Square with a new petite cocktail bar. The location will lead guests through curtains to a sushi bar where they can enjoy an omakase experience. Last but not least, Taru, located at West 53rd Street between 5th and 6th Avenues, led by Chef Anthony N. Taru will offer innovative Japanese cuisines and omakase at their 9-seat bar. Taru will also provide an extensive sake, um, shochu, and wine list, including their cocktails. Okay, now hold on a minute. I know there's another one. There's another one that I wanted to do. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. There's another one that I wanted to do. Um, uh, actually, actually, yeah, there's three more I wanted to do. All right. Um, all right. So, okay. Another eat and drink subject to talk about here um is basically op ed permanent drinks to go is the common sense lifeline our restaurants need right now. So there's not one policy that is going to heal the devastated restaurant industry overnight. The challenge facing the industry is far too catastrophic for there to be one program that puts it back on its feet. But there are some obvious and practical fixes that can provide helpful revenue streams and relief that can certainly make a positive difference for these small businesses. From our perspective, and that of the nearly 8 to 10 New Yorkers who support the policy as well, drinks to go is one of those common sense ingredients that is part of the larger recipe for recovery for the state's battered restaurant industry. That's why we have sponsored legislation and want to make this policy permanent and are pushing to include it in this year's New York state budget. It was at the height of the slandemic uncertainty when drinks to go became a customer and restaurant favorite across New York. Initially implemented as an emergency order, um, that allowed customers to add wine or their favorite cocktail to their takeout order as restaurants first emerged from lockdown. New York set the stage for the rest of the country, with dozens of other states following our lead and implementing similar programs to help the ailing industry. Ever since the executive order lapsed, however, New York's restaurants have been without this reliable source of revenue, while restaurants in 15 other states and Washington, D.C. still have the option on the table. Some in New York's liquor store lobby want you to think that liquor stores in those 15 states have since gone out of business, but they haven't. Furthermore, we've sought to thoroughly, thoughtfully balance all stakeholders' concerns in this discussion, including, for example, a prohibitate no prohibition in our bill on restaurants selling full bottles of liquor and directly competing with liquor stores, even though many of these same liquor stores are permitted to sell canned cocktails that you can argue compete directly with restaurants and bars. Yet the situation for New York's moms and pop restaurants only gets more dire by the day. For example, according to survey results released last week by the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, 72% of the borough's businesses continue to experience sales lower than 2019 levels. 68% reported losses of customers compared to 2019, and 41% still had slimmer employee headcounts. Sobering statistics that are no doubt echoed across Queens, the Bronx, and throughout the state. While drinks to go were allowed, there was at least a glimmer of hope in hospitality. Um, Businesses experienced an uptick in sales. Half of the businesses said drinks to go increased their bottom line by 10 to 20%, and the other half of businesses credited drinks to go as increasing sales by 20% or more. Person, no, excuse me, Permanently legalizing drinks to go once again will provide these financially hamstrung restaurants a reliable source of revenue to help pay their employees rent, afford utilities, and keep pace with ever increasing daily expenses. Permanent drinks to go would also be a major convenience for hardworking New Yorkers who would benefit from being able to order a drink with their delivery or takeout after a long day of work. It also shouldn't be lost on us that this proposal to allow to-go drinks is an apt opportunity to finally modernize New York's antiquated alcoholic beverage control laws as well, some of which went on the books during prohibition days some 100 years ago, yet still exists today. Um, as we have all seen in our neighborhoods, there are countless restaurants still suffering. Yes, yes, that's very unfortunate. But they're not giving up, man, without a fight though. Um, but we've got an opportunity in the New York State legislature to provide them a reason to be hopeful. Let's make this important lifeline for our essential restaurant industry permanent, and let's do it now. Interesting. Now I got one more eat and drink story to cover. Um Here we go. Okay, restaurant app tracks New York City's favorite food and recovery data in new report. So check this out, folks. Seated, a restaurant discovery app put together a roundup of the top cuisines in each neighborhood of New York City. The most popular restaurants by meal were Merman in Nomad for breakfast, Rosa Mexicano in Union Square for brunch, Mom Man in Tribeca for lunch and dinner, at Rosa Mexicano in Lincoln Center. In many neighborhoods across the city, the data showed some commonalities between what types of food New Yorkers preferred. In places like Rockefeller Center, Hamilton Heights, Park Slope, and Greenwich Village, the app found that locals preferred American cuisine. Overall, a majority of the neighborhoods chose American. Locals chose seafood as their top cuisine. In neighborhoods like Alphabet City, Sunset Park, Alphabet City. Alphabet City. Oh shit. Wow. Alphabet City, Sunset Park, Mill Basin, Yorkville. Oh shit. That's fucking incredible. For meal times, places like Soho, Carroll Gardens, and Upper East Side favored brunch. The app also discovered that New Yorkers are willing to travel for good food. 85% of seated reservations came from members who were going to another zip code to eat out, pick up from no pick up food from a restaurant. People were also more likely to book reservations in advance 6.5 hours before without walk-ins and 1 hour before with walk-ins. Of course, um, let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I already got that already. All right. All right. Let me check to see if I actually covered every single topic. Let's see if we did that. Yeah, I think we covered everything, folks. I think we covered everything. Now I can actually get myself on the screen. And that's gonna do it for episode 128. We made it to 128. We're near 130. We're about one episode away. You like what you heard in today's episode or any previous episode whatsoever, and make sure you catch up on the new and previous episodes on YouTube. Um, you, You can show some love by making a charitable donation to my Cash App, which is G Money Stacks 555 $ G Money Stacks 555. To spell it out is capital G, lowercase MONEY, capital S, lowercase TACKZ. Once again, it's not about breaking the bank, folks. It's all about doing the best you can on whatever amount you decide and comfortable giving will be appreciated. So here we go. So yeah, we're gonna go into we have to go to a particular sub um yeah, we're gonna go to one of the segments. If I'm not mistaken. Hold on a minute. Monetization. No. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. We're gonna go to podcast free game mechanisms. Now I'm gonna cue the chimes right here. All right. So in this segment right here, we're going to be I'm going to be informing you guys on how to basically um start a podcast and the important things that you need to start a podcast. So what we're gonna do is this. All right. So um if any of you guys out there, any of you that's listening and watching out there that's interested in starting a podcast like I'm doing right now, um, with 3 shows underneath of my belt, um, I'm going to fill you in on some stuff that you need to start a podcast as far as important equipment and the software and of course where you can actually create an account and stuff. So here we go. First and foremost, you need some headphones. You also need a microphone right here. You don't need to go crazy on buying anything too expensive. It could be something simple like a Yeti or a Alvoxcon A800 model that I'm using. You can find microphones, including this model right here, at your favorite stores like Best Buy. You have Target, Amazon website, and of course Walmart. All right. Um. Now, 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 of course, you need a laptop or a computer for live stream purposes. Anyone, anyone that you get will work. So there you go, right there. And of course, you need a supporting software to support your YouTube live streams, which includes StreamYard. Now, it's a software that I use to connect my YouTube channels for weekly episode recordings. Of course, you could connect your Facebook, your Twitch, LinkedIn, which I don't use, and of course YouTube as well. It comes with creation tools for you to actually create talking points, which includes where people can follow you on your social media handles, the show, um, and of course the name of the show right here, as you can see on the screen. And you can create your own brand on here actually, and of course it allows you a feature where you can send invite links to people who you actually talk to, especially emails, phone numbers, and of course Instagram. right there. When any person clicks on the invite link to StreamYard, and if I see the individual that comes into the live stream studio of StreamYard, I will add you to the live stream chat, so you can chat with me, of course, on topics, stuff you want to talk about, and all other good stuff. So yeah, and also what I like about StreamYard is that it has better sound quality, and for the most part, you can create an account with StreamYard. You can also either put your email address, or you could put the podcast email address on there. If you type in one of those email addresses, you're going to see get login code. You press that, and you're going to go to your email, and the people from StreamYard is going to send you a six numbers in code. You type in the 6-number code on the StreamYard, so you can actually log in, and you don't have to worry about remembering your password. That's another thing I like about StreamYard. And of course, after you log in, you get to set up your schedule of your live streams, or when you want to live stream on a weekly basis, any day of the week. You know what I'm saying? So there you have it right there. If anybody needs any particular guidance and help on how to start a podcast or whatever, of course you feel free to reach out to me on the gram, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Of course, any time of the day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's gonna really that's gonna do it for this segment right here. I'm trying to look for the other. Give me a second here. I'm trying to look for this other segment right here. What is this? Hang on a minute here. No. 1 second. Wait a minute here. Wait a minute. Apparently the segment that I was trying to do, the segment that I was trying to do, folks, is called Stream Choices on the Go. For some reason, I don't see it. All right, let me just do this, man. Hold on. Okay. Let me just do this. Stream. Okay. All right. Now that I got that covered, I am going to finally get this out of the way. So our last segment of the night is Stream Choices on the Go. All right. Here we go. Of course, this is the segment right here where I actually inform you on the audio streaming platforms on the go, and of course, starting with the social media handles. You can follow me on 17 Live, which is G Money Stacks Queens, New York, alongside with the with the Instagram handles, which is where you can follow the show on Facebook and Instagram, which is Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, alongside with my other shows, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, Sports Edition Show. I just put out episode 19. Make sure you catch up on all the previous episodes that's been uploaded on YouTube, and do the same with Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast Review Show as well. So you can follow. Make sure you follow Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast on there, alongside with my primary handle, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Make sure you turn on your notifications on Instagram so you don't miss me in action when I go on the air via live stream. All right. Now we are going to now I'm gonna actually mention something before I even mention the the audio streaming platforms on the go right here. I want to mention that I had added a feature where you guys that are listeners out there, the folks that's listening and watching, if you have any questions for me, any topic ideas or thoughts on what you thought about the topics and stuff, you can actually leave a voice message on Anchor. And of course, when you go to the link that says Linktree/G Money Stacks 555, it's going to take you to the whole list of links, and the first thing you're going to see is the name of the podcast. You click on there, and it's going to take you to the Anchor page where you see all the episodes that's already been posted already. You're going to see the word message on there. You're going to tap on there with your iPhones and phones. So you could actually, or you could use a laptop or a computer to actually do this, folks. So you can record your voice message on there. That way you'll be able to voice your thoughts, talks on topics, questions, opinions. Your feedback is important too. So I hope you get my drift right here. Yeah, so by the way, for the new podcasters out there, man, if like I said before in the segment, podcast free game mechanisms, if you are looking for a hosting site to basically premiere your podcast audio recordings on, Anchor is your friend. I'm using Anchor so far, actually, and it's been working for me. You can create an account with Anchor on the website, anchor.fm. Of course, you can actually create the name of your show, which is unique in a way, so you can actually make sure that it's the typical title that nobody has ever heard before. So there you go right there. Anchor, the best way to start a podcast on our hosting site. So there you go right there. And speaking of Anchor, and this is where you can subscribe to all the links and apps for you to download to your iPhones, your Androids, your iPads, your Android tablets, which includes Anchor, Audacity, Audible, Audioburst, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podbay, Podfriend, Podo Polo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcast. Don't forget to leave a 5-star rating to Podchaser, Podfriend, and Spotify. And we are also on Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the #1 app for music, radio, and podcast. And last but not least, the YouTube. Make sure you grab the subscribe button. And alongside with tapping that notification noti bell, so you can be reminded on when the show goes in the air via live stream. Of course, more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and topics. Share the episodes, share the videos, download the episodes, tell a friend to another friend, and of course, make sure you share the podcast along with the link that says linktree/GMoneyStacks555 with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, and your friends. All right. Now, that's gonna do it for me. I'm G Money Stacks. Thank you so much for tuning in and rocking with me on this 128th episode right here on Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York podcast. There's going to be more topics to come, more episodes to come. I will see you guys in the next episode. And remember, hard work and the grind does not stop when it comes to being a creative and following your goals and dreams. All right. So don't let anybody stop you from doing that. You want to do something that makes you happy mentally, physically, and spiritually. Real talk. And what else? Also, don't let the numbers of subscribers and the followers define who you are as a person. And don't let it intimidate you, even though you're not being well known or being recognized or whatever. You just trust the process when it comes to podcasting. And I'm actually trying to learn how to, be at my own pace and be in my own lane. Like, I'm not worried about competition, and neither should you. So there you go right there. And also, podcasting is not about, pleasing the people that's listening and watching. It's all about what you think of the topics with your thoughts and talks, opinions and facts. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys learned something today. Had a little laughs. Had a little laughs today, actually. So, you know what I mean? I'm trying to bring more humor to this show right here. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, so like I said, man, make sure you trust the process. Also, be sure to make sure you have confidence in yourself behind the mic in your recordings. Make sure you basically be yourself. Hard work pays off, and the grind does not stop. All right. There's no blueprint or guidebook to tell you how to start a podcast. All right. There is no right or wrong way to actually do a podcast. All right. That's just how it is, though. Everybody's unique in their own ways. So don't let anybody tell you just because you have a podcast mic doesn't mean you should start a podcast. Don't let that bother you. You just do you. That's what matters. Do what makes you smile. I know I am. And I know you can do it too. And I'm saying this out of, inspiration and motivation to you folks out there that's like, looking for something to listen to get your minds off of stressful events like work, drama with family, bullshit ground beefs with one another, whatever it is, man. Podcasting is very, very therapeutic. Remember that. I'll see you guys next time in the next episode. Peace and one love, and have yourselves a good night and the first week of spring.